Hi students, my name is T. Rajshekhar, working as a lecturer in Civil Engineering, SRS GPT Silsila Polytechnic College. Today I am going to teach you the subject of leveling surveying. So this is for the branch of Civil Engineering diploma students, first year, second sem, and your subject code is 18C 205C. So the duration will be the 100 minutes. So our topic is generally leveling, and the topic is subtopic is permanent adjustments of level. So let us see what are the permanent adjustments of the level. Objectives: on completion of this period, you would be able to understand how to perform third permanent adjustments of a level. So in the previous class we have learned the adjustments as the horizontal crosshair should be in a plane perpendicular to the vertical axis, and the axis of bubble tube should be perpendicular to vertical axis. So these are all we have done in the temporary adjustments. So to make the line of collimation should be parallel to the axis of bubble tube. So here you can see a telescope of the dumpy level or auto level diagram. So we can observe here, this one is center of object glass. The line which is showing this point at the violet color, you can see here pink color line, this is known as center of object glass, and this is the line of collimation. The line which is given here, the pink color line, this one is line of collimation at the center of the diaphragm. We can see here in the intersection of crosshairs, at the time of intersection of crosshairs, so the central line which is there, this one is our line of collimation, or we will call as collimation line of sight, and this is the axis of bubble tube. So a bubble tube will be there, so this bubble tube will be parallel to the exactly the center of the tripod stand. So this is our tripod stand. We can see here the center line which is there, this one, this is the center of the tripod stand, and these are the three legs, 1, 2, 3. For every tripod stand we will have 3 legs, not more than 3 legs. It is compulsory required for the proper adjusting and proper setting of instrument. So the line which is there, we can call this one as vertical axis. We can see here, this one is vertical axis. In the center of the line of collimation, this is the vertical axis we will call. So this total one is bubble tube. So this is the nothing but to make the line of collimation, it should be parallel to the axis of bubble tube. So what is the parallel line? So this line, which one is there? This one and this one, the pink color line and the black color line which is there, these both should be parallel to the center of the bubble tube. Then only the telescope is in the center of the object. So this is the parallel line he has given. From the sketch it is clear that if the instrument is in adjustment, line of collimation is parallel to axis of bubble tube. So in the sketch we have seen that it is clear that if the instrument is in adjustment, that means when the temporary adjustments after setting the instrument, the bubble tube will get center of the telescope, and the plumb bob which will be in the center, and after focusing the screw and after the setting the instrument in the parallel 90 degrees to the instrument, the line of collimation will also be at the center of the axis of bubble tube. So otherwise the line of collimation is to be made parallel to axis of bubble tube. So this is called collimation adjustment or third adjustment or two peg method. So adjusting of line of collimation of the diaphragm to parallel to the bubble tube, that we will call it as third adjustment or two peg method. Line of collimation inclined upwards. So how this line of collimation will be inclined? So up to now the line of collimation is parallel to the bubble tube. Now it is inclined upwards. An instrument is fixed on the ground. This is two line of collimation, and this line is called line of collimation inclined upwards by alpha. So this is the true reading what we are getting here. So this is the apparent reading. This is the alpha. So we can see here from the center of the line we are getting, this one is known as true reading of the staff at the benchmark. This is known as benchmark, and this is the leveling staff. Say it as LS, and this is the apparent reading. So apparent reading is from at the angle of to the bottom of benchmark. So this is apparent reading and true reading. So this is in the case of line of collimation inclined upwards. So here this line of collimation, when it inclined upwards, means the staff, when we are doing it, the inclined portion of leveling. So due to this the objects appear lower than what actually they are. So when we are doing this leveling at the surveying, the inclined objects which are there, so they will appear lower than actually what they are. So actually what are the measurements they are there, we will not get properly, and this is due to the higher apparent reading than true staff reading. Next one is line of collimation inclined downwards. So now it is downwards inclined. So then previously we have seen upwards, now downwards. So instrument is fixed, line of collimation. Now it is downwards, we are getting true line of collimation, and line of collimation inclined downwards by alpha. The benchmark, the leveling staff. So now this portion is called apparent reading, and this portion is called true reading. So this is the important thing, difference between the line of collimation inclined upwards and downwards. So when it gets downwards, the staff which is at the down portion, that means when it is just like I will draw the diagram. So when the ground portion is in like down level like this, so this is the ground level. So when the ground level is in the downward portion, so we will get this true reading as well as apparent reading. But similarly in the previous case, so we can see here this diagram will be at this place. So in this case also, so the staff will be the upwards and downwards. So this is the difference between inclined upwards and inclined downwards. So due to these objects appear higher than what actually they are. So in inclined upwards the objects will look lower, but here in the objects in the upper it looks higher. So that is the difference here, and this is due to a lower apparent reading than true staff reading. So this is the lower apparent reading, then the true stop reading. So these error can be avoided in case of simple leveling by setting the level midway between the two endpoints. So we can identify and we can clarify the error by avoiding in the case of simple leveling by setting the level midway between the two endpoints. That means we can keep the instrument between 2 points. So that is nothing but you can see here on a ground. So we can keep the instrument at the center point and we can take one level as another one and this is the other one. So that we can take one BS backside and another one as foresight, so that we can avoid the error between these 2 points. We can avoid the error between the distance of these 2 points, and this is known as A and this is known as B. So this problem will be solved, but doing it directly at the inclined upwards and downwards. But in differential leveling it is not possible. Remember, in differential leveling it is not possible. It is possible only in the simple leveling. Hence, collimation adjustment is essential and ensuring horizontal line of collimation. So here collimation adjustment is essential when we are doing, but horizontal line of collimation is ensuring. Okay. So can we test it, how it works? So first, setup of the instrument on the ground. So first set up the instrument. So here we can see in the diagram. So this is our instrument as set up. So the telescope, name it as T, and we can see here this is erroneous line of collimation, and this is true line of collimation. So for the P and Q, so the instrument is set up at the station point R, and the stop readings are P and another stop reading is Q. So the distance in between them is determined as capital D. So this is the ground level. So we can see here on the P the point is termed as A1 and this is termed as B1. So this is nothing but simple leveling we have done to avoid the errors between the two instrument points. So here we can see the process is drive two pegs P and Q at a distance D about 50 meters to 100 meters apart on a fairly level ground. So on the ground we have to keep these 2 points, that is P and Q. The distance is nearly 50 to 100 meters apart, and after that drive another peg R exactly midway between them. So this is a R, so this is a peg we have to keep at the center of the point for the instrument setup, and set up the level over the peg R, level it accurately with bubble central, take stop reading as A1 and B1 and respectively on P and Q as shown in the figure 4. So after keeping here the instrument, taking the temporary adjustments and setting up the bubble tube and focusing the screw, so take the readings of A1 and B1, that is backside and foresight readings. So next is second setup of the instrument. Again this is the second setup of instrument. So in second setup of instrument, so in the previous we have seen this point is R, that is the central of the instrument. Now in the second setup you keep the instrument at the point of R1, and these are the 2 points, that is P and Q, and you can see here the center of the line of collimation line, which is this one. This is the line of sight, and this is the erroneous line of collimation. That is the inclined angle which is taken, and this is termed as alpha. The line outside central and to the point of angle which is facing, that is known as alpha, and this one is termed as A2, that is from the ground level to top of the angle, and E2 is determined as the angle of intersection point which is there from the ground level. It is termed as E2, and we can see here this is another one, B2. The B2 is from the angle of line to the bottom of ground level. So this is known as second setup of the instrument, while we are keeping at the whether P side or Q side of the instrument, and this is termed as capital D. The distance of between 2 points, and this is termed as small d. So the small d is nothing but the distance of the object from here, and here shift the instrument to R1 at a distance d meters from Q on line PQ producer. So shift the instrument to the R1. From R2 you have to shift the instrument to the R1, and then after at a distance d meters from Q on line PQ producer. So the d is nothing but this is the distance from the center of the instrument. This is termed as small d. So capital D plus small d. So this is the distance of small d. At this position, following the procedure, observe staff readings on P and Q. Let the respective staff readings be A2 and B2. So now the respective staff readings be the A2 and B2. Note that when the instrument is at R midway, the difference of A1 minus B1 gives two level difference between P and Q, though there is a collimation error. So why this collimation occurs every time? Because when the instrument is facing on the staff, the three digits or three lines which are passing through the telescope and the object is facing on the staff, the collimation error will be gets when the inclined are upwards. So here in order to that we will be find out that two difference of level H is equal to A1 minus B1. So when the instrument is at R1, the difference of A2 minus B2 is called apparent level difference between P and Q. So apparent level difference between H is equal to A2 minus B2 is 2. So if true difference and apparent difference are same, there is no collimation error. Remember this point, it is very important. If true difference and apparent difference are same, that means same measurements or same values, then there will be no collimation error. Else there is collimation error. So calculate the reading on the far peg P at the same level of B2. Let this reading be E2. So E2 is equal to B2 plus or minus true difference from Q to P. So use positive sign for fall and negative sign for rise. So as per in the previous classes we have seen that our problems rise is positive, fall is negative. But here it is quite opposite. If E2 is less than A2, the line of collimation is upwards. If E2 is greater than A2, the line of collimation is downwards. Remember this one, this is very important. If E2 is less than A2, the line of collimation is upwards. And if E2 is greater than A2, the line of collimation is downwards. So the difference of E2 and A2 is the error. The difference of E2 and A2 is the error due to collimation to the horizontal in a distance of capital D. So correction to reading on far peg P is, that is, correction to reading on far peg P is capital D plus small d. C1 is equal to A2 is similar to E2, therefore D. Correction to reading on near peg Q is small d. C2 is equal to A2 is similar to E2. So this is for the correction on the peg P, and this is for the correction on the peg Q. So correction to reading on near peg Q is C2 is equal to A2 is similar to E2. This is capital D. Correction C1 and C2 are to be subtracted from A2 and B2 if the line of collimation is inclined upward. Suppose in the correction C1 and C2 are to be subtracted from A2 and B2. If the line of collimation is inclined upward, then the corrections of C1 and C2 are to be added from A2 and B2. If the line of collimation is inclined downward. So as we have seen in the previous our diagram, inclined upwards and inclined downwards. So here the corrections will be of C1 and C2 are to be added from A2 and B2 if the line of collimation is inclined downward. So whether it is inclined upward, we have to do subtract, okay, minus, and if it is downwards, we have to do plus. Next is adjustment. So it is usual to make adjustment on far peg and check the correctness on near peg. So when we are doing the leveling, we can do the adjustments also, that is on far peg and check the near the peg also. The correction of the staff reading is applied by moving the crosshair in the diaphragm by operating the upper and lower diaphragm screws appropriately as below. So here the correction of the staff reading is applied by the moving the crosshair. The crosshair in the diaphragm will be setting the upper and lower diaphragm screws. So this is adjustment will be in the theodolite instrument. So here in this adjustment we have to do the correction of the staff reading is applied by the moving crosshair in the diaphragm by operating the upper and lower diaphragm screws appropriately as below. So if the correct staff reading on far peg is more than the observed staff reading, the crosshair is to be lowered. So for this purpose, upper diaphragm screw is loosened and the lower diaphragm screw is to be tightened. So these adjustments will be done in the instrument. So here if the correct staff reading on far peg is less than the observed staff reading, the crosshair is to be raised. So when we are taking the correct staff reading on the peg, so if it is less than the observed staff reading, that means whatever the first reading we have taken, the crosshair is to be raised. That means we have to increase the height. And for this purpose, upper diaphragm screw is tightened and the lower diaphragm screw is to be loosened. So the staff reading is to be checked for its correctness. So however, repeat this process till perfection is attained, and this method is called two peg method. So this method is called two peg method. So next, so it will be more clear when we solve a numerical problem. So problem number 1, the following observations were made in testing the line of collimation adjustment of a dumpy level, compute the staff readings to be obtained for correct adjustment when the instrument at capital R draws the sketch. You can see here instrument at O and R, that is staff reading on P is 1.250 and staff reading on Q is 2.315, and on again instrument at R, P staff reading is 1.725 and on the staff reading on Q is 2.690. So remarks OP is equal to OQ is equal to, the distance is 50 meters and PR is equal to 30 meters and RQ is equal to 130 meters distance. So this is the diagram. So this is our R and O, P and Q. So here the R is the instrument and O is the instrument. So we can see here the distance has given regarding OP is equal to OQ is equal to 50 meters. So that is first one, this O to P and O to Q. So if it is equal, then the dimensions are same, that is 50 meters. Okay, and next PR is equal to 30 meters and RQ is equal to 130 meters. So that means from P to R, that is 30 meters, and totally from R to Q, it is totally 50 plus 50, 100, 100 plus 30 is equal to totally 130 meters. That is up to here. So this is the total distance. So in this, at staff reading on P is 1.250 and Q is 2.315 and R is 1.725 and staff reading on Q is 2.690. So we can see here, this is the readings 1.725, 1.25. This is on the staff reading at 1.25. You can see here clearly in the table, first P is on the station O 1.250. This is the station O. At the P is 1.250. Where is 1? This one. At P it is 1.250. Okay, and again coming to the Q, it is 2.315. So this is the station. This station it is 2.315. So name it as A1 and B1. And again another on P, that is R instrument 1.725 and 2.690. So in the R it is known as 1.75. So this is the R station. The reading is 1.75, and the station Q, the reading is 2.690. So from this instrument R we are citing to the staff Q, we get 2.690, and before the adjustment of the staff we may face here some reading, that is 1.725. So the distance here, this is called alpha, and here we can see the points which are there, and this is also alpha. So solution, we have to find out instrument at O. OP is equal to OQ, hence the difference of staff readings of P and Q gives two difference of level. Therefore the two difference of level between P and Q is H is equal to 2.315 minus 1.250. Then we will get H is equal to 1.605 when P is higher. So 1.605 means, how we are defining this P is higher, we can see here. So this is P, so 1.025 is P is higher. Next, when the instrument at R, apparent difference of level between P and Q is H is equal to 2.690 minus 1.75, then we will get 0.965. It is also P higher, and compare H and H dash. H is greater than H dash. So it indicates that collimation is out of adjustment. Collimation telescope is inclined upwards. So in this way we can know the collimation of telescope is inclined upwards. So that's why the collimation is out of adjustment. Therefore, true staff reading on P with level at R. Therefore, true staff reading on P with level at R, observed staff reading plus collimation error in 30 meters. So this is whatever we are getting or given, that is known as observed staff reading, and this is collimation error in 30 meters is equal to 1.725 plus 30 alpha. So where alpha is the inclination of telescope with horizontal, so this is the alpha, and this is known as, we will write 30 tan alpha, and here from the station point R, the distance is 30 meters from R to T, and this whatever we are getting, that is known as 1.725. so this we will write as 1.725 plus 30 alpha to get the total height. Similarly, true staff reading on Q with level at R, observed staff reading plus collimation error in 130 meters, so therefore it is 2.690 plus 130 tan alpha. So 130 tan alpha is total distance from Q to R, and correct difference of level is 2.690 plus 130 tan alpha minus of 1.725 plus 30 tan alpha. This you will get 0.965 plus 100 tan alpha. So this is the correct difference of level we will get. So equal is to 1.065. So because this is also two difference of level, so 1.605 plus 0.965 plus 100 tan alpha, therefore 100 tan alpha is equal to 0.1 meter. Correct staff reading on P with level at R is 1.75 plus 30 into brackets of 0.1 by 100 is equal to 1.755 meters. So next is correct staff reading on Q with level at R is equal to 2.690 plus 130 into 0.10 into 100 is equal to 2.820. So once check the correct differential level between P and Q. So this is the correct differential level between P and Q. So is equal to 2.820 minus 1.755 is equal to 1.605 is the answer. So this is to do the check. So what is this 2.820 and 1.755? So where it is, you can check here. So this one 2.820 and 1.755. By doing this we will get 1.065. So in this class we have learnt how to find the true difference of level when the instrument at midway, and find the apparent difference of level when the instrument is nearer to one stop station and far from the other stop station. So comparing the above two, if apparent difference of level less than true difference of level, so the telescope is inclined upwards, hence downwards. If upwards, true staff reading is equal to observed staff reading plus distance into tan alpha. Remember this formula. If upward true staff reading is observed staff reading plus distance into tan alpha, then if downwards true staff reading is observed staff reading plus distance into tan alpha. So for exams, frequently asked questions are: explain the collimation adjustment of the dumpy level by true peg method and a problem. So thank you. So let us see now how to perform the second adjustments of lever. So upon completion of this lesson, you will be learn what are fundamental lines and its relations, and how to perform first performance adjustments of levels also. So in the previous class we have seen just like the axis of bubble tube, line of collimation, axis of telescope, vertical axis, and these lines are called as fundamental lines of levering instruments. So we have seen this diagram in the previous, as this is axis of bubble tube, center of object glass. Okay. So here relationship between fundamental lines are, the axis of bubble tube should be perpendicular to vertical axis and the horizontal crosshairs should be in a plane perpendicular to the vertical axis. So the line of collimation should be parallel to the axis of bubble tube. Note, if the above conditions are disturbed, we have to carry certain adjustments to the instrument. So this is very important relation between fundamental lines. So here the axis of bubble tube should be perpendicular to vertical axis and the horizontal crosshair should be in a plane perpendicular to the vertical axis. So it should be perpendicular to the, should be paired, okay, the crosshair, and the line of collimation should be parallel to the axis of bubble tube. So these three relations are very important. So in first adjustment, to make axis of bubble tube perpendicular to the vertical axis of the instrument, this is otherwise called bubble adjustment. We will call it as also bubble adjustment. And in first adjustment, you may recall that bubble must be at its center of its run for all positions. While observing any reading, the bubble must be at its center of run. So before carrying out the adjustment, first we shall carry out a test to ensure whether bubble adjustment is required or not. So for setting out the first adjustment, we have to carry the bubble adjustment whether it is required or not. So testing procedure of the dumpy level. First we have to set up the instrument on a firm ground, on a flat surface ground. So level it accurately so that the bubble remains central in two perpendicular positions. Okay, the bubble tube will be in the central of the positions. And do the temporary adjustments. First, when the telescope is parallel to the line joining a pair of foot screws, and second, when the telescope is over third foot screw as learned in the temporary adjustment of a lever. So first one, we have to set the tripod stand on the ground, and next keep the dumpy level on the fix it, and next level it accurately, and the bubble tube should come in the center of the instrument, and after that the telescope line, that is nothing but focusing the screw to a object or any white paper clearly. Second, the telescope is over third foot screw, so turning the instrument, now turn the telescope in azimuth through 180 degrees. Okay, by doing so the telescope position is reversed. If in this position also bubble remains central, there is no error and does not require adjustment, otherwise it needs adjustment. So when the instrument is in this horizontal position, the telescope, which is there here like this, so when it is in this horizontal position, it is parallel the bubble tube. So when we rotate like this in the 180 degrees position, that is in the to and fro position, so then also the bubble tube should be in the center of the position. So that's then only the instrument position is in the correct. If otherwise, we have to do again all the temporary adjustments. So adjustment, note the deviation of the bubble from the center. Let it be 2n division as per the reversal principle. So you can see here, this is the center of bubble for the principle, that is n and 2n. This is the center. So bring the bubble halfway back n divisions by capstan headed nuts. So end divisions means the bubble tube moving in the roundly circle, in the circle will move the in the end divisions, that is known as capstan headed nuts. And the other half is to be corrected by manipulating the pair of foot screws parallel to the telescope, or the foot screw beneath the telescope, as the case may be. Turn the telescope to 90 degrees so that it is over the third foot screw, or parallel to the pair of foot screws. So in the next, turn the telescope to 90 degrees so that it will be the third foot screw, or parallel to the foot screws when we can see the adjustment, and accordingly correct the error by manipulating the third foot screw or pair of foot screws. So rotate the telescope and check whether the bubble traverses in reverse position. So rotate the telescope and check whether the bubble traverses in reverse position. If not, what we have to do? If not, what we have to do? Yes, repeat the entire process till we get perfection. Yes, repeat the entire process till we get perfection. So what is the principle involved? Study the following figures. That is, you can see here, this is the center line B1. B1 is the center of the axis, and this is true vertical axis, and this is the vertical axis of incline, and alpha, alpha to alpha, B, B square, B2, B. If in the first position, the error in the perpendicularity between bubble axis B1 and the vertical axis is alpha, on reversing this error becomes 2 alpha in the second position, that is B2 is the bubble axis in this position. For correction, adjust half this apparent error by capstan headed screws, other half by foot screw or foot screws. For the desired correction, if the end of the bubble tube is raised, loosen the upper capstan headed screw and tighten the lower capstan headed screw using a Tommy bar. For lowering the end of the bubble tube, loosen the lower capstan headed screw and tighten up upper capstan headed screw. So to make the horizontal crosshair line in a plane perpendicular to the vertical axis, a test is there. Set some well defined point P as shown in the figure. So this is the point P and P dash. So this is our diaphragm. You can see here, this is the vertical crosshair and this is the horizontal crosshair. Rotate the instrument slowly about its vertical axis. If P appears to travel along the horizontal hair, the instrument is in adjustment. If not, adjustment is to be done. So find the position P on the opposite side by loosening the two adjacent capstan screws on the diaphragm ring. Rotate the ring by the required angle. Check whether P moves along the horizontal crosshair. If not, repeat the adjustment. Finally, P moves along the horizontal crosshair. So if the diaphragm is not in the correct position, or if the adjustment of the diaphragm is not in the correct position, so we can rotate, or by using the capstan screws on the diaphragm it will be there. So by rotating that one, we can keep the straight line in the line of collimation. So this is the process we can do when the adjustment will be there. So this is the diaphragm. So then the straight line will be there. So these lines will be equally. So if not, what happens? So the diaphragm lines is in an inclined cross position. So we can rotate this one by keeping here the top of the ring will be there, adjustment. So if not, we can adjust it by the horizontal crosshair. So maximum the diaphragms will be in the center of the positions. So this is the second setup of the instrument. So in this we can see this diagram, the vertical crosshair and horizontal crosshair. So this is the main position of the test for the second adjustment test of the dumbbell level. So finally summary, we have learned that fundamental lines and its relations, two permanent adjustments. So we have fused the axis of bubble tube should be parallel to vertical axis. True or false? False. The bubble need not be at its center of run while taking a staff reading. True or false? False. So frequently asked questions are, state the fundamental lines of instrument and its relationships. It's very important question. And what is permanent adjustment, and state the adjustment. This is also very important question. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. So if you have any doubts regarding this from the above topics, you can message me or you can call me, or you can please put a comments in the chat box. Thank you.